Hey. Good evening, everybody. Good evening to you tonight. Good evening tonight. Good evening.
Hey, everyone.
On tonight.
Y'all come in quick.
What up? It's good to see you guys tonight. Let us know where you at.
Coming from?
Where you coming from? What's up with you today? How you doing today? Hey, Houston, Texas. Right out the back. Hey, in Africa.
Wow,
I remember
where?
that from Saturday.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Yeah. Hey, guys.
Give us a beautiful post.
Yes, thank you
beautiful
so much.
Post.
What up? It's going to get interesting tonight, I'm sure. I'm sure it's going to get interesting tonight, everybody. So share when you come on in. Southside Chicago, Omaha, Nebraska.
Yeah.
Richmond Park, Illinois. Hello, California. So good to see you tonight.
New Life Shy.
What up, everybody? Thank you. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you for tagging people also. Thank you.
That's cool when you tag people and you share.
Pennsylvania.
It's going to be interesting.
Las Vegas.
What up? We're going to learn how to sing a duet tonight. Mississippi.
Yeah.
MISSI, cricket letter I. Congrats, Mississippi, on the
flag change. So dope.
What up? Hey.
New York.
I know you can't see us.
You will in just a moment.
Help us get these numbers up. Everybody, share. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and we are on YouTube. If for some strange reason the sound gets weird on Instagram, all you need to do is drop on Facebook or come to YouTube or Facebook, either one, and we'll get it going tonight. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for logging. Thank you for looking. Thank you for anticipating. We know it's summertime.
Yeah.
If y'all still want to do it, we'll still do it.
Right.
It's good.
We know the world is kind of opening up a little bit.
Yeah.
But it is Marriage Monday. Yeah.
Yeah. So
who do we got coming in still?
Yeah. So good to see you tonight. We're going to get into it this evening.
Hey, everybody.
How y'all doing tonight? Good evening.
ATL, yeah.
Good evening all over the world. So good to see you tonight, and thank you for sharing.
Thank you
for
so
connecting,
much.
And thank you for being here. Looks like y'all still interested in Marriage Monday after 23.
23?
Yeah, I think this is 23 or 22 episodes.
Wow.
Yeah, we rocked some little Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell, little old school music, a duet.
Beautiful duet.
You know, there's intentionality connected to that.
Mm-hmm.
How do we sing together? How do we talk together?
How do we make beautiful music together?
That's right. So tonight we're going to talk about men and women and their different ways of communicating, how they communicate differently. My wife is going to deal with and help us lead through a conversation of 3 keys to help us communicate with men. Does that sound interesting to you all tonight? All right, got my notebook ready. Let's go.
Yeah.
So on social media, I asked some questions. I asked what are key ingredients to a healthy relationship? And you guys went in. Thank you for that research.
Yeah.
Because if you guys are still interested in continuing in Marriage Monday, then we're going to explore some of these topics and unpack them. Somebody said a clear understanding of vows and a covenant, the foundation of general friendship, sex, communication, trust, honesty, and be able to trust each other, trust, effective communication, good communication, God, love, respect. Support each other goals, work together, similar values. I know. Unity with your other half, God together to make it work. Trust, vulnerability, selflessness, love, and a lot of sex. Amen.
Oh my God.
Knowledge of who your mate is and what makes them tick and what makes you express your emotions. Every relationship should have God as a foundation. Everything else will fall into place. God is love, so without him, it's just loveless. Man, so many good comments.
Yeah.
So many great things that we saw that you guys posted. We're going to dissect those topics because that's things that it seems as if you're interested in discussing, and then we're going to try to unpack them. It gives us fuels and topics for the future.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's good. We just coming off of our Creative Marriage Conference.
Oh my gosh, it was so amazing. Yeah. It was our first virtual conference. We have done it that was our third way of doing it. And once again, it was just a blessing. We are grateful and humbled that people allow us to come in and just to coach them through their marriages. But we had 10 states?
10 states and Africa and Bahamas and United States. Yeah.
So dope.
3 continents or 3 countries and 10 states. Yeah. So it was a great turnout and good connection. And so we are going to continue that. We did record it for those of you that couldn't make that day. So we'll be posting it on our site for a class in the JG classroom. If you want coaching, you'll still be able to take it on your own. So it's going to be phenomenal.
Definitely.
So make sure that you'll be able to do that by the time the week is up. All right. So tonight we're going to get into it. So what do you guys say when you guys talked about key ingredients for relationships? One of the important things we know is that communication is key. Just so we get on the same page, can everybody just agree with that and just type communication is key. Communication is key. Mm-hmm. Communication is key. And so while you're typing that, just engage and explore with me some of the things. So now when you are thinking about communication being key, what are some of the differences you say between communication between men and women? What are some of the differences you say between men and women? Some of the differences that you say between men and women when it comes to communication. Why your body language is why you turned that way and got your arms crossed?
I don't have my arms crossed. I don't have one.
So why do you think communication is key? And what are some of the differences between the way men and women communicate? Yeah, because
there is a difference. There is a difference. There is a difference. There you can look at something and have 2 different interpretations of that based upon your gender.
But isn't that just perspective?
It is perspective, but when you're communicating, it's like it's a perspective, but you can kind of miss each other.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Somebody said women they need all the details. Men just needed to be basic.
Girl.
Men, nonverbals are confusing. Oh my God, they starting already. Men are not as emotional and can sometimes communicate from a different perspective. Mm-hmm. Somebody else said women are always thinking.
And men are simple.
Really, Kim? Really? Women usually overanalyze things. Somebody else said that it's about expression. Dave said men can tend to have unspoken expectations. That's interesting. Somebody else said men are not as expressive as women. Somebody else, Olivia, says, I need him to know what I'm thinking all the time. That is so unfair. Men like brief combos and get directly to the point. Directly to the point. Men definitely have 2-word answers and are confrontational, non-confrontational. I'm sure that's shit. They're trying to type fast. Non-confrontational. Men usually only give one-word answers. This is so interesting. Speaking in counseling terms, men are generally withdrawers and women are pursuers. Come on, bring in the counseling here. So men try to shut down in fear of messing up, but women try to get them to talk and make it work. Just a general statement. Of course, all these are general statements. We're not trying to lock anybody in. Everybody's different and have the unique for their space. But I think tonight we wanted to explore this thought and this idea. The other week on Tuesday, we just jumped on a live in the morning because I saw this meme and my wife and I started discussing it, and then all y'all chimed in on this conversation, and it just went all day talking about the difference between men and women. So we thought because communication is such a key element in a successful relationship that we would explore this topic tonight. Now, what we're not going to do is we're not going to dissect it like we did already. We did that.
You got to go back and watch that.
Go watch that on YouTube, okay? That's on YouTube. But I will show a little bit of this clip just to give some perspective for people that may not have watched it. They're like, yes, that was funny. That may have not have watched it. And then we're going to try to just give you 3 perspectives, 3 keys. Again, generalization, get into it tonight, and hopefully we can find some dialogue to help have a better conversation communication. For those of you that don't know what we're talking about,
Here you go.
Here we go. All right. And we have edited the cuss words, but you'll get the point.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark, it's Jackie.
Jackie. Oh, yeah. Hey, what's going on?
Oh, nothing. I was just calling because it's been a while since I've seen you, and I'm in your neighborhood. You want me to come by?
Oh, I ain't tripping. You can do that.
What does that mean?
It means you can come through.
But do you want me to?
It don't matter. I'm not tripping.
Look, Mark, if you don't want me to come by, then just say it.
What? I didn't say I didn't want you to come.
Then what are you saying?
I just said you can come by.
But do you want me to come by?
I'm starting not to.
Then why in the hell you didn't just say that in the first place?
Hold on. Let's hit the pause button for a minute. All I'm saying is it's cool if you come by. But if you don't, I won't be mad at you.
So you're basically saying you're not looking forward to me coming by?
Oh my God. Oh, she's killing my vibe. Oh, she's killing my vibe.
Hello?
Listen. I didn't say I was not looking forward to anything. I simply was saying your company is welcomed.
But not really wanted.
You know, it's starting to get to that point more and more as this conversation goes on.
Why can't you just tell me how you really feel instead of beating around the question?
Question? What question? What are you talking about?
Do you want me to come by?
Man, I'm starting to get to that point of pistosity. Female. I answered your question. All you had to do was just bring your monkey.
Lord Jesus.
No! You gotta make it more complicated than the blonde, but no makeup.
Lord
You are
Jesus.
such a... I was trying to be nice and see if we can make up the lost time, but obviously you don't.
You know what? I don't want to come back. I'm good.
Thank you, Mark, for finally telling me what you really want.
Oh, you killing my
This whole
vibe?
conversation could have been avoided.
Bit.
Oh,
Female.
Jesus.
Hang up the phone before I reach through my mobile talking device and strangle you. Hang up the phone!
Oh my God. Oh, you killing my vibe? Oh, you killing my vibe? Oh, you killing my vibe? That man made up a song about it.
The point of pissed off.
He made up a song and a word. You know it was something. All right. So we're not going to dissect that again. If you want to see it and see what we said about it, go watch it. All right.
You gotta go.
But what we're going to try to do today is give perspective
Yeah.
on ways that men and women communicate differently and 3 ways to help you communicate with men. Now, they weren't married. This is a marriage conversation.
Exactly.
But my wife and I started talking about it. If you go watch the video on YouTube, how it translates, how you learn this over time. I think the biggest thing I just want to say always in any communication for men and women is not what you say, but it's how you say it.
Yeah, definitely.
How you say it, tone is everything, implications is everything, intent, right? So it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Can y'all just get on that same page with me, please, and just write, it's not what you say,
It's not
it's
what you
how
say. How you say it.
It's not what you say, it's how you say it. All right, babe, what you think?
So, like, one of the misconceptions is that men are not not afraid of feelings, and that
I mean that men are.
that men are afraid of feelings, and they're not afraid of feelings. But I think that sometimes, as women, we interpret it that if they are dealing with something or whatever. That they usually, men, you can chime in, that they usually they become quiet and they're withdrawn when they're upset or they're stressed. And, you know, us being who we are, because we can't help but help and to nurture, we will feel that sometimes that him withdrawing or being quiet has something to do with what we did. And we will internalize it. And that's not always the truth. But if he's pulling away because of stress or whatever, we will try to come in and ask questions and, caring questions in our mind. Are you okay? Is everything all right? You seem a little down. And then if they don't respond in the way that we feel that they should respond, then we'll continue questioning because we feel that we need to help them to get to the place that they need, but we will assume that they're not feeling anything, and it's not true, because really what they want to do is to be quiet.
That's right.
And really what they want to do is to withdraw, but not to withdraw because they don't want to deal with you, to withdraw so that they can be to themselves and think their way through whatever it is that they're going through. And I think sometimes us as women, we forget that Adam was by himself. He made some decisions, a lot of decisions by himself. It doesn't mean that you don't need a helpmate or a person, but I think it has to be based on his terms. If he is asking you for some assistance, or if he wants to share how he's feeling, he will tell you that he wants to share how he's feeling. But if we're questioning him, then I believe that we are adding more of a burden than we're adding more of a burden questioning than we are by not being quiet, because then it causes them to feel the pressure of, now I got to tell her, now I got to try to figure out a way to tell her this, and then I don't know how she's going to respond, and then it could even blow up the more. But when he is quiet, it does not mean because he's quiet, it doesn't mean he doesn't feel anything. He is feeling something. He's just trying to figure it out in his own mind.
Yeah, men are not afraid of their feelings. We are very in touch with them. We don't always know how to express them or to communicate them. So sometimes it's a protective mode, both for us and for our spouse when we're trying to process. Right. And so
you don't want to say the wrong thing. You have to say, I'm sorry.
So you did it great by saying that, because we're not afraid of our feelings, and women should not interpret our silence as a sign that we're pulling back or that we're not interested or we're being insensitive, and try to continue to pursue and press in to nurture us through that. They should just allow for that moment of space and eventually figure out a way to re-interject or to insert themselves back in without it being naggy and pushy. I 100% agree. I think that the difference is sometimes what I've learned about you is that when you're in that same space, it's weird. And we always talk about why did God make us to have the similar situation and be totally opposite, right? So we're over here trying to think it through. And while we're over here trying to think it through, if you're in the exact same space, you're trying to talk it out. So that's what's weird, because you're trying to love me the way that you would want it to be loved. So I would withdraw to be quiet so I could think through it. And you would want to talk it out so you could think through it. So while you're trying to talk it out, so if you're in the same situation and you're having a feeling moment, it's for me. It's my natural inclination to leave you alone. Why? Because I'm gonna do the same thing you would do. I would be like, okay, if it was me, I would want to be left alone right now.
Let me do
so I'm leaving you alone. You don't even care right now.
You didn't even say how I feel about it.
I do care. It's just in my mind, I'm like, I want to be left alone, so maybe I'll let you be left alone. But that's the wrong thing to do. What I should do is do the opposite. Usually of what, and again, these are generalizations, but I should do the opposite of what you would do. I should lean in and say, okay, babe, so how you feeling? Are you okay? What are you thinking? What are you feeling? Or whatever, right? Because when you're tapped into your feelings, you're trying to express how you feel. And when I'm tapped into my feelings, I'm trying to discover how I feel. I'm trying to discover how I feel so that before I say the wrong thing the wrong way, then I can try to process it. And then when I'm ready to engage, I will re-engage and I will communicate and I will tell you. But men, I don't want to get into all the details. I want to know what I'm feeling. I want to know what I'm thinking so I can get right to it and it can make sense to you. You know what I'm saying? And then what I learned is that ladies, they're not sure how they feel. They want to talk through it, all of that, and maybe it was this and maybe it was that and maybe it was that. So it's like we process feelings
differently. And I think also for men is that they don't want to, and I mean, we've had this, that they don't want to say something in the moment. And when we take it as a staple when really it
Right.
was kind of just a pencil. There was no staple. There was no
Babe,
tack.
look
It
at
was
you.
just-
Look
it was
at you
just-
being honest and transparent right here.
It was just
This one?
simply. It was just simply.
Oh my God.
Just saying something. And I had to learn that about my husband, that it was, because we've kind of gotten past the, not talking and stuff like that. So I had to let him be able to trust me when he is just saying something
I'm
and
processing.
not making it a permanent
Right.
a permanent moment or a permanent word. I had to allow him to be able to express himself and not hold it. And not when you say hold it against them, not in a negative way, but hold it against them. Like hold it like this is what
guys
you
is
said.
going in.
This
Hey,
is
my
like-
God, you better preach. That's
like this is what you said. Like what happened? You
Yeah.
said this, and you're like, no, I was just telling you something.
And
But now you're teaching me that I can't express to you
While
when
I'm thinking.
while I'm thinking. I gotta know it, make sure, and all this other kind of stuff because you're gonna hold me to it. You're writing in a permanent marker. I am simply writing in pencil, and I need you to be okay with me writing in pencil.
Yeah. And the truth is, like we appreciate and respect the fact that you respect that what we say as law.
Yeah.
But then when we're trying to just think it through and process it, and everything we say, well, that's what you want. What else you want? What else? No, I'm just talking. So then you like, all right, so that don't work. So let me go over here and think about it. So by the time I engage, I'll tell you. But then you feel like I'm being distant. I'm withdrawing. What are you thinking? What do you care about? Listen, I love what you just said, babe. Can we just put it in pencil before we make it permanent?
Yeah.
I'm just thinking. Somebody, Dave said, my head hurts so much from nodding in agreement. Ultimately, she can appreciate him by allowing space. And if she has a problem, he wants to, if on the other hand, while he's trying to process and she's allowing him space, if she has a problem and she expresses it to us, we want to fix it. We want to heal it immediately.
Quickly.
We want a solution.
Like
What's
I'm
wrong?
just talking to you.
No. I don't want nothing bothering you. I don't want nothing in your
You
way.
quitting right now. You
Can I-
stopping. You not working there no more.
Can
What?
I fix it? Yeah, because whatever it is, our intention is to solve it. So while you're pushing through feelings, we're thinking it's, oh, you don't listen to me. I'm listening. I'm just trying to get to the point so I can know where to solve it. Where's the punchline? Where do I jump in so I know what to do about what's bothering you? Because I want to have your answer. I want to be your hero. I want to give you the solution. I want to solve your problem. And you're probably just talking to me about how you're feeling, and probably that in and of itself is probably enough. But in the same note, because I'm your husband, I'm your priest, I'm your provider, I'm your protector, who messing with you, who bothering you, how can I fix it? How can I solve it right now? And we don't got to talk about this. We don't got to talk about this for an hour. We don't got to talk about this for 15 minutes. Like, just tell me what it is so I can get down to it and we can be done with it, and it can be over and everybody is fine. And you don't want it to be done.
No.
You want me to go on the journey. And it's not just the big girls, it's the little girls. Today I was hanging out with my daughter today and she just wants to talk about the process of it and the feelings of it. And I'm like, oh my God, like, who taught you this? Like, I raised you. So is this genetic? Is this in your DNA? Like, why the heck are you, oh, Dad, and then what about, and then, no, let's just get right to it. And I'm a communicator, but yet it's still, my communication is short when it comes to talking through your feelings. Don't underestimate and think that because men don't always want to talk through their feelings, that they don't have any feelings. Men are not afraid of feelings. They're not afraid of their feelings. They're not afraid of your feelings. They just want to know what we gonna do with these feelings. You understand what I'm saying? That's what we always want to know. When we finish with these feelings,
where are they going?
What are we doing with them? Right? And that's the thing. That's good?
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
good.
You want to go to number 2?
Yep. So the next one is, as women, say what you mean and stop trying to hide what you're really feeling.
Yes! Good God Almighty. Hallelujah, woman of God. Talk tonight. Can you say it again? Let's make sure they taking notes and they got this down. Come on. What y'all say? Huh?
Say what you mean. Stop trying to hide what you're really feeling. And I believe that women do that a lot because of how they're usually are always concerned about everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
But as a man is conditioned to listen, like you just said, to solve a problem. But I think that for women, they feel like they can't say what they mean because they're trying to be protective of the other person. They're trying to make sure
it's caring.
It is. Usually it's caring, or sometimes I'm feeling a certain kind of way and I don't know where it's gonna go. So I'm just gonna say nothing.
Like you talked about, she was testing the waters, trying to see what might be happening. I mean, but if you're saying a whole bunch, what's the problem when it comes to communicating to your man with just saying what you say, just saying what you mean? Like, stop trying to hide what you're feeling. I mean, why are you afraid to like put yourself out there or be vulnerable or be transparent or I don't know, like what, like just say what you saying.
I understand that. I understand that. Yes, that frustrates you, but I really believe that women.
Take me to therapy. Yes, I understand. Calm down.
I really believe that women are always trying to nurture and think about somebody else. I mean, we were with a very a newlywed couple and asking them certain things and then everything went to the female and she was like, I just, whatever's easy for everybody else, I'm okay. And you were very intense saying to her, no, tell me what you want. And that's what we're gonna do.
We're not mind readers.
I agree with that. I am a person that talks about self-responsibility, and that is one thing that women don't do. We do not have self-responsibility. I feel that as women, sometimes we romanticize about you being able to read my mind, and we romanticize about, oh, he already knew what I needed and all that other kind of stuff. But he's not gonna know if you don't teach him about you and you don't teach him about how you really feel. And I think that sometimes because a woman has
you're saying that's sometimes that's because you're protecting. You're being protective of
the other person. And also sometimes it's because I was honest with you and you either held it against me or you blew up when I told you the truth, how I really felt. You started, being petty with me being truthful. So I think that sometimes just as women teach men how to treat them and talk to them, men teach women how vulnerable and honest can they be.
That's interesting. I mean, I think that men, when you say you want to talk or you start talking about your feelings, I think we're conditioned to listen actively, right? Mm-hmm. But I think because of our position and where we are accustomed that if you initiate a conversation, you're looking for our advice or you're looking for our assistance or you're looking for our awareness, right? So you want our advice, you want our assistance, you want our awareness. And so that's why you like engaged. And so you start talking about your feelings and we're like, oh, something's coming up out of this, like, oh, you're about to be intent, like, oh, there's a point to this, and then it's like all of this, oh, but maybe it's, and all of this, we think if I can sum it up in my alliterations, that you want our advice, our assistance or our attention, but instead we get a bunch of ambiguity, right? It's
not ambiguity. It's a journey, babe. It's a journey. I am taking you on a journey, and as I am going through this journey of conversation, I am opening up to you. I am letting you see my heart, and it's a journey. It's a journey, and you guys most of the time want to go through the alley while we want to go down the street.
But the way we're wired, like you come to us for
kinda. I come to you for advice sometimes.
Don't you go to your friends for the whole journey?
Sometimes, but if I say that my husband is my friend,
I am your friend. So when you've talked it out and you want an answer, You want.
So you're saying. So let me hear. Let me hear you
saying.
correctly. Let me hear you correctly.
So is this
No.
pencil? Is
It's
this
not
pencil or pen?
It's pencil.
You see, she about to pencil.
I'm
Did you
not.
see her about to pin me? So you're saying. Did y'all see her about to pin me? I thought we were in pencil. I thought we are having a transparent dialogue, and it was in pencil. Chris, did you see her about to put the pen down and not pencil me in? Go ahead. So I'm saying
all
what?
I'm saying is that. So are you saying for women, because of the way that a man is wired, that she should have this conversation or kind of like fleece it out to her trusted girlfriend that she trusts in regards to her relationship, because that is very key. And then after she's kind of talked it through, then say, you know what, babe, been thinking about this and had a conversation with so-and-so. What do you think that I should do? Would you think that that'd be better? Because then now I don't
trust
have to.
it.
That's what I said.
Yes,
I did all of those.
I agree with that only because it's not that I don't want to take the journey with you. I'm wired to provide a solution for you. I will take the journey, but it's almost like this marriage Monday. It's almost like for you, it's almost like sex without an orgasm for you to provide me with a problem and don't give me the opportunity to provide you with a solution. So you're fulfilled.
That's good.
It's real, babe. You're fulfilled because you got to talk it out.
Yeah.
I'm unfulfilled because you're bothered and I didn't provide a solution.
Come on. Yes. That's good, though. I didn't look at it like that.
So it's like if you have a trusted relationship that you can process that through, and then when you're ready we're at an impasse and you're ready for this A or B, what do you think? C or D? And we're ready to make a decision or a choice. Then you bring it to me. I'm going to feel more like I contributed.
Yeah.
Listening to you does not make me feel like I contributed. To you, it does. Right. To you, it makes you feel like
we're closer.
Yes, I was there for you and I heard it and I listened and I get and I respect that I need to learn to listen. I expect that I need to learn to listen because that calms your anxiety.
Yeah.
That dulls the negative feelings. That I was there for you. That makes you feel like I was there for you. So on my part, I have to have a little bit of responsibility to go. I need to have a little tolerance to learn to listen so that you can feel calm. But don't you have the pleasure? Don't you walk away from the conversation feeling fulfilled and I'm left feeling impotent in the process, feeling like I couldn't contribute, feeling like I had nothing to help to solve the problem, right? Because I'm wired to solve the problem. It's if I can't, we teach this already. If I can't provide, if I can't do something to contribute to make this go away, to make it go better, to make you feel better, I'm almost like, then why did you bring it to me?
Right.
What good am I, right? Because if I couldn't do for you something your girlfriend, your friend, your trusted advisor couldn't do for you, then where was my opportunity for contribution? And the way God created me and wired me, I want to solve it. I want to contribute. Because if I don't contribute to the problem, then I become Adam taking a bite of the fruit that Eve presents to him with no opportunity to bring some direction and some solution in it. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I do need to learn how to say, okay, being here for you, listening to you is calming your anxiety. Just don't leave me without the opportunity to provide an answer.
That's good. I never looked at it like that. And I think, but the key thing in that is making sure as a wife that you have a person that is a trusted person, that you and your husband have decided that this person is a trusted person, because we know as a
it's
couple,
not gossip.
Exactly.
It's counsel,
this person,
is wisdom.
Right. This person is going to push me back to my marriage. This person believes in my marriage because I don't want to leave that out there. That's a good way of looking at it. Right. But I don't want it to leave that out there that you talk to your girlfriend who is not wise, so that you can get it off your chest.
And if we're honest, I'm gonna even be real honest and say that some women already have the answers and they want to talk it out, and they're trying to get their husband to come to the answer so he contributes in a way. And so in some instances, it's a wise woman that understands how to navigate the relationship and the conversation in a way that he can discover the solution that's best from a perspective that she sees without her being bossy or telling him what to do, and opening up the conversation in a way where she's engaged because she feels like she has a safe place and that he feels respected because he feels like he provided an answer and a solution, right? So it's like both, it's a give. Men have to learn how to provide, how to listen more, and give the chance to get, and so that the woman can learn how to give the man an opportunity to give solutions. Yeah.
I think that that's something that is learned, especially with the revelation. When I got married, I did not look at. I looked at all relationships as a place of me to be able to express myself, and then if I needed a solution, that this person could give me a solution. So really, to be honest with you, I think that even in our unmarried state, there were friends that we went to that we felt were wise, and we felt that had great discernment. And there was friends that we just talked to them. We didn't really need their input. I just need to talk this out. So I'm calling you because you're a good listener. So I just want to talk it out. Okay, I'm good now. And you just hang up the phone. You don't want, you don't need them to give you any kind of direction. But when you're married, I think to understand that your husband is in a place of leadership and he wants to solve, it is his responsibility, it is his purpose in your relationship to solve the problem, not necessarily to always talk it through, but to solve the problem. And it's true.
And you're the woman is the reasoner. And this is generalizations, because it's not that women don't have answers in the relationships. Many times they do. And a wise man knows how to hear that from his wife. But it's like in the same process, it's like men want to contribute at a level of leadership. You know what I'm saying? And so when that conversation, that discussion is being had, I think women, you can't be afraid to say what you mean. Say what you mean. Say what you mean. Stop trying to hide what you're feeling. We big boys, don't stop trying to hide. I don't want to hurt your feelings.
Or trying to test.
Yes,
because that's Eve. Because that's manipulative.
That's right. And then to say what you mean, babe, it's more about how you say it. The thing that makes the man feel a way is not what you say, and a woman. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. How you say it. Say what you mean. If you learn the art of saying something, you can say anything. Did you hear what I just said? If you learn the art of saying saying something, if I learn how to say something, you can say anything. There is no truth you cannot give or reveal. There is nothing you cannot say if you learn how to say it. Same word, but different tone. 80% tone, 20% what you say all day long. All day long.
And another thing is that when you identify, and I think sometimes people don't want also.
Some people saying some men are real sensitive. All men are sensitive. We're not insensitive.
Right.
We are. You don't want a callous man. Trust me. You want to. If you have a man that is sensitive, you want to keep him sensitive, because if he ever becomes cold and callous,
you ain't gonna like it.
Yeah, it's not okay. So
you should really kind of count it as a blessing if he's being sensitive towards you.
Yeah, because that means what you say matter. And the way you say it matters.
Exactly.
And if his love language, which is a whole nother thing, is words of affirmation, is his love language, now how you say a thing and how you use words just became that much more heightened, because you have that much more of a responsibility of how you say a thing if words are his love language.
And the other thing that I was going to say is that when you're being honest about saying what you mean, is that you are able to identify with the emotion that you have. So what happens when I taught kindergarten, it was a bug and a wish. You know what I'm saying? It was like, this bugs me and I wish this would happen, because now it's leading toward the behavior when you're honest, because if we be truly honest, most of the time that we have difficulty saying what we mean is when we're angry, or if we feel like this is going to cause this person to push back. If I be real and tell them how I really feel. But if you take on that emotion that I'm angry because of this, how do you think we can work through that? Then it's a conversation, and now you're still putting him in a place, in a posture to have a solution, to have an answer, but you're still being honest with where you are and how you're feeling about something, which is very, very necessary. But this whole romanticism in your mind that he's a mind reader and he should really know how I feel. It's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair for you, and it's not fair to him. It's not fair for him to expect that about you, and it's not fair for you to expect that about them.
Come on, we're running out of time. Let's get to the last one.
Okay.
The last one, which leads right into that, is
choose your words wisely. Use the right words to reach his heart.
His heart does safely.
Trust in her. And if your husband's love language is words of affirmation, your words are every single word is like 100 pounds. It's 100 pounds of him feeling the depth of your love, or it's 100 pounds of him feeling the curse of your love. You have to make sure that you're very careful with what you say, and that you think about what you say, because like we said in Create a Marriage, that your partner is a garden, and it's left up to you to cultivate this garden. And so what are you putting inside of that garden? You got to be very careful with what you say and how you say it. And if you heard something differently when you were growing up, and you saw that how, as women, we can emasculate a man with our words and be like, I told you, I got you. And at the end of the day, like we always say, do you want to be married or you want to be right? You can be right, but you're probably not going to be real married. You have pushed him further away from you. But we have to choose our words rightly. We have to make sure that they're encouraging. We have to make sure that they're clean and cut, and it gets straight to the point. We have to make sure that it's not a place where we're using our words to blame, but we're using our words to build up, and we're using our words for education, for knowledge, for you to know me better, not for me to tear you down. And that's just dealing with people in general, that you just use your words wisely. You don't use your words frivolously, or you don't talk a lot when you're angry. You shouldn't, because you're going to say something that you're going to regret, because you're not conscious. You are dealing with your emotions. And research has shown that when you are emotional and you're angry, you're not even thinking correctly anymore.
And before I chime in, I just want to say what you said even matters for single moms that's raising boys, raising young men. You still have to manage what you say and the way you say it to your young man, because you're teaching him. This is where these patterns of this miscommunication that happens as you get older, these patterns get set in because in this space. So if you are a single mom, or a mom in general, because you could be a married mom, because my wife, I had to talk to my wife about how she talked to my boys, because I told her these are somebody's husbands, these are leaders, and you need to watch the tone. And the older they get, you can still be mom and be strong, but let's never emasculate our sons, because if we emasculate our sons, then we don't teach them how to be men, how to hear like men, and how to learn what love sounds like, as well as love what abuse sounds like, because some women can have a sharp tongue and become abusive in their relationships, the way they talk to a man. And if your mother talked to you like that, talk at you, talk bad about you, talk to you in that manner, then you'll think that's normal or necessary. And so my wife, go ahead.
You'll go looking for that woman or run away from that woman.
That's right. So I had to talk to my wife about how she could be strong and still say what she needed to say, but watch the way she spoke to them, that she spoke to them like kings, that she spoke to them. So when she called them, they demanded she demanded honor and respect from them, and through love and nurturing, but she never talked to them like they were diminished, like they were less than what we created them to become, or how we created created them to become. And so we model that behavior from now, so that if any woman ever comes into our sons' lives sounding crazy, they will instantly recognize
that ain't the one.
That's right. They will instantly recognize this ain't that, because you don't sound like you're calling the king out of me. You don't sound like you're entreating me like how I've been raised and in the culture I've been raised in. So even when we're angry, even when we're upset, the tone is quick and sharp, but it's never diminishing or demoralizing. You know what I'm saying? And in my home, my wife, because she's a teacher, when my boys get in trouble, it's always questions. And as a man, we don't like all that, right? So she's like, what were you thinking? And then wait, what did I ask you that? And then wait, so that they're required to give her an answer even while she is disciplining them. Why? Because it is in their nature as a man to do what? To solve the problem and to give an answer. So we even raise and cultivate in our home. Once she learned this about me and we learned it, we cultivated this in our home, that even in our frustration, we always speak to our sons like they're kings, and we always speak to our daughters like they're queens. I have never physically discipline my daughter in any way. Never. Because I never want my daughter to think that it's okay for a man, even her father, to handle her in any kind of a way. So because of that, you might say, well, that's indifferent. No, my wife has disciplined her, however she's needed to be disciplined. But what I learned, because I've never done that I had to watch, is like, if I say the lightest thing to my daughter, it melts her. She begins to cry, and I didn't even raise my voice. If a slight bit of disappointment is revealed towards my daughter, it breaks her down, because I've never had a tone that disrespected her identity. I treated her, spoke to her like I would speak to her mom to her, because I'm cultivating something in her that she knows what it sounds like, what love sounds like, what it feels like. One time my wife and I was having a heated perspective conversation. And while we were doing so, our children, because they're not used to that, they heard it happening in the house, and they were downstairs and they were crying. And when I found out they were crying, even though my wife and I weren't arguing, we were just in a dialogue. I found out that they were impacted by it. And I brought my children up to the room with my wife, and I apologized to my wife for raising my voice to her in front of them, so that they would know that it was not okay. Even though we were passionate in our delivery, I did not want them to think that environment was conducive to what was necessary for them. So I apologized to her in front of them, and then I apologized in front of them for doing so. Because again, my wife always says, your children have one childhood. And so everything you're learning, everything you're doing, you're modeling that behavior in front of your children. And so I love that my wife says that choose your words wisely, because you can draw me like a magnet, or you can push me away.
You can repel me.
That's right. And I used to tell, we learned that the hard way. Yeah, we learned that because she was a principal, and she would come home with that principal tone. And I'd be like, babe, I am not the fourth grader running down the hallway. I am not that child. I am not your kid. I am your husband. And I get that you got to go outside this house, and you got to go to work, and you got all this on you. But listen to me. When you come here, I need you to call my name in a way that makes me want to run to you, not run from you. And so we learned that, right? And so when you're talking about that, a man, he never wants to be told what to do.
He wants to get there. He wants to get there through conversation. He wants to get, because at the end of the day, when your man comes with a solution, he wants to be rightfully with integrity, say that he came to this conclusion, and that he brought you to this place. All of that teaching and things of that nature. Like, I believe we can teach each other, but all of that quote unquote teaching as a woman, that's for your son. You don't want to son your husband. You don't want to son him. You
And
don't want to boy him.
Don't boy him. Don't boy him in one moment and then want him to be a man in the next.
Because that ain't cool, and that's confusing, and it's kind of nasty.
Yeah,
a little bit.
It's crazy. Listen, so when you're talking, it's important that you say what you mean. You say it the right way, right? So when your spouse hears your voice, when you choose your words wisely as the husband, when I choose my words wisely, I want to make sure I'm always building my wife, never tearing her down. If I have to say a hard thing, a difficult thing, I have to say it with love. I have to build her. I have to build her. I've had to say some things that were difficult for me to say to my wife, but I had to say it in a way that would build her, because I never want to tear her down. Because if I tear her down and she's called to help me, she can't build with me if she's torn down.
Exactly.
If she's torn down, she can't help me build. And if we're trying to build, I cannot tear her down and then turn back around and ask her to help me build.
Because you can't tear me down and then expect me to help you build. What do I have to help you? I don't have nothing.
It's too much, babe. We gotta go. It's too much tonight. No, I'm just saying, but it's real.
It's just true. Because
you can't do it.
You can't do it. So you have to be as a man, you got to be very intentional about what you're saying and what exactly do you want to come out of this moment, because you need to be prophetic and you need to think about what am I, when I reach for her, do I have something to reach to because I put it in her. I put it inside of my relationship.
It's real. Yeah, it's so true. And so I need to be intentional when I'm communicating as well to my spouse. I need to be intentional that every hard thing that I say with an intention to build her.
Yeah, everything. Because I don't want to belabor the point, but as a man, I think that you do not realize how important it is of you building a woman. Like, it's so necessary.
Yeah.
And it's such a powerful thing to do that you cannot. And I think sometimes in relationships, people be like, oh, they're not listening to me. They're not thinking nothing about me. No, they're listening to everything that you're saying. Why? Because they married you because of everything.
Yeah.
They married you for the stuff that they felt like. I personally think that most people who are going into marriage are marrying people that they believe that they can build something together and that they can build them up.
Yeah.
So because of that, don't shrink back when it's time to step to the plate and to build something. You gotta be man enough to build. You gotta know what are the weaknesses that you need that is inside of your wife that's going to help you to build the life, the future, the family, like all of that. My husband has done that for me in a moment where it didn't seem comfortable. It was uncomfortable for him to say to me, you talking to our boys wrong. I need you to listen, look at it like this, babe. Like look at it like that. And I had to get out of my feelings and be able to hear what he was saying, because it's our nation. Our future is that conversation could have went so wrong and crazy, and it would have been the detriment of our sons. Detriment of our sons.
And would have probably drawn them to a woman less like their mother, and probably would have drawn them to a broken woman, and probably would have also in that same process, had you not heard it and received it the way that I said it. I mean, thank you for being open, because it changed the way we discipline and raise our sons, because we already know this is somebody's husband, and we got people that have already picked our boys to be husbands to their daughters. So we have a responsibility to make sure that they are leading with intentionality. And so our future, our legacy, our nation is at stake, and we couple that on the same side with the ladies. And so for you moms, single moms, married people that's raising 3 boys, I know you're frustrated. I know they're boys, but understand who they are, and more importantly, understand who you want them to be and how you want them to function, because this is absolutely essential for what it is that's happening. Right? So this is some of just the nuggets that we have for you tonight. That's just 3. We good. We done tonight. Do y'all got questions? What y'all saying over here? What y'all saying? I have 3 boys. You just taught me something. Yeah, especially if they're scarred from childhood. Yeah, you can't tear me down. Y'all comment. It looked like y'all in tonight. Was this good for you? Was it real talk? We try to be transparent before you and try to help make sure that's something. There's so much more we could say. We came loaded tonight. There's so much more we can say, but we just wanted to share these 3 points. Listen, if you are in our Creative Marriage group, I have some communication exercises that I'm going to drop in there. If you're in our creative marriage group, you can go on Facebook and put requests to be in the creative marriage group. Mostly it's for the people that already create a marriage. But if you're part of our Marriage Monday family, you can also get inside of that as well. And we'll put it in there. There's some communication worksheets that I'm going to put in there. And Marriage Monday, Creative Marriage online version is going to be up on JG Classroom. So go to my website and register for my email blast so you can get it when it comes out. All right. So some of the things that's coming up is a parenting seminar. We're going to do a parenting seminar. People keep asking for that. We're going to do a parenting seminar. We're going to try to get it in July, if not July, August. Singles, last week, my wife and I, we discovered what we're going to do is coming up. So be on the lookout. Y'all keep trying to hijack Marriage Monday. We're going to give a soul sessions for singles. A soul sessions for singles is probably going to be on a Saturday, seminar style. So be on the lookout for it. So we'll get into that. All right. Singles on here, getting ready for their married life. And we appreciate it. But y'all keep trying to hijack Marriage Monday. This is Marriage Monday. Y'all on here like, but what about us? But we know, we feel it. And we love that you're here because we learned how to be married while we were single.
Exactly.
Hear what I'm saying? We learned how to be married while we were single. Okay, so don't worry about that. And so we're going to talk through that parenting workshop. That's going to be for everybody. We're going to deal with it from a blended family, from married, all that. All right. So the singles is coming on a Saturday, soul sessions. Well, maybe we thought about maybe doing it on a Friday night. Keep y'all out of trouble. Bring us into a conversation, right? Might be on a Friday night. So singles, a soul session, but it's coming up. You'll get the date. You'll get the time. Yes. Please stay connected. Thank you. Yes, my wife, we wanted to talk about it from this perspective tonight, and she killed it. She learned a lot and shared it with me. And we taught a lot. We learned a lot. If you sow, as always, people asking to sow. If you sow, as always, we share. If you want to give it directly to her, I don't got no problems with that. We share. I don't know if you give it to her, she ain't gonna share it with me. If you give it to me, I share with her. But what is your Cash App, babe?
Lady Glenn.
Yeah, Lady Glenn. So if you give it to her, that's fine. She ain't gonna share it with me, but it's all right. I share all the time with her.
Because he's the priest, the provider. And the priest, the provider, and the protector.
Listen, men are usually more likely to communicate. Men are usually more likely to communicate to maintain a status quo. All right, y'all write that down.
That is good.
Men are more likely to communicate to maintain their status quo. Women tend to view communication as a path to create and build friendships and relationships. I'm going to say it again. All right. Men are more likely to communicate as a way to maintain their status and their independence, while women tend to view communications to create friendships and relationships. Okay. Communication is always a way to negotiate, to communicate, to solve, to get advice. And for women, it's a way that we get deeper, build friendships and relationships. So don't let it tear you down. Closer. That's right. Don't let it tear you down. Don't let it be disruptive. Don't let it impact you negatively. All right. Just understand that when men are communicating, they're maintaining status and independence. They're wanting to solve it. They're wanting to negotiate. They're wanting to seek for an advantage, to help, to contribute, to offer advice.
To see a win.
That's right. To see a win.
They want to see something like you kept saying about that. It's necessary for men.
And when women communicate, they're deepening their relationship. If a woman talks to you, she trusts you. She's building trust with you. She's seeing who you are and what you're about and all of that. All right. Yeah. So when you consider that, then that's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. And so don't let this thing about communication be destructive. Right.
Yeah. And the other thing about communication is it's a process. It is not something that you just kind of you just hit it one time and then it's just good. I mean, our communication has gotten better from the very first day that we got married, and it was intentional and it was necessary, and we kept at it, and it was hard, and sometimes it was difficult, and sometimes you was just like, I don't want to talk to him, and then he's like, I don't want to talk to her. But you have to be in it for the long haul, and just know that when you get there, when you get to the place where this whole romantic thing in your head, that you can finish their sentences and you can know what they want before they want it, that comes with intentional self-responsibility, articulating it to the other person, no matter how it might make them feel, because of how you say it to them.
That's right.
How you say it to them. Being honest, there's nothing wrong with being honest, but you have to be honest with responsibility.
Yeah. Somebody said, do we have any books? Yes. If you go to JamonGlenn.com, thank you very much, Renata. If you go to JamonGlenn.com, all the books are listed there. Kingdom Relationships, Single Soul Sessions, which is what we're going to talk about for the singles.
And your new book.
Oh, yeah. My new book, Create
Everything.
Create Everything. Create Everything is out as well. Just fresh off the press. And tomorrow on Tuesday nights, I do a visual podcast about Create Everything.
It's so dope, y'all.
For this summer, Create Everything. It's at 6:30 Eastern time. So if you want to connect to that, you can do that as well. You can also go to Jerome Glenn or visit Amazon. Thank you for my team. Jerome Glenn or visit Amazon, put in my name, and you can get the books as well. So thank you for inquiring about that. But yep, that anybody that was on here, thank you for bringing somebody with you. Again, tomorrow, Create Everything visual podcast at 6:30 Eastern. You can get the book. I got my book already. Thank you. Thank you. That was good. I got my book. I'm glad you got it. And somebody said, please pin on the group page, Pastor, for the info who want to get in. Yes, okay. I'll make sure we pin on the page, the group, so that people can get in. Yeah, people want to get into the Create Marriage group, so that I can be able to give you,
I'll make sure
put in the exercises. All right. So y'all ready? Let's do our marriage confession. You ready tonight? My marriage is blessed.
My marriage is blessed.
My spouse and I are led by the Spirit of God.
My spouse and I are led by the Spirit of God.
And when we pray together in unity.
When we pray together in unity.
Our prayers are powerful.
Our prayers are powerful.
And we get results.
We
make every effort. To establish peace and harmony in our home. Together we walk together. In agreement. And we are an unstoppable force. If we get angry. We are quick to forgive. So that we do not have strife in our relationships. We are not self-seeking. Rude. Proud. Boastful. Or jealous. Instead we are loving. Kind, patient, and we put each other's needs before our own. We trust each other. And we protect the sanctity of our marriage. God has joined us together. And we will not be separated. Whew. Yes, your future marriage is blessed too. Thank you for always saying that. Yes, Soul Session is in a hard copy. It is a hard copy and it is a digital copy. All the books that's on my website are on both spaces and both places. So make sure that you lock in and lock on to that. And thank you so much for your connection to that process. All right. So we love you and we appreciate you. It is our time tonight, and it looks like you got something out of our sharing today, and we appreciate that you got something out of our sharing today. Any questions? Any more questions? So good. Thank you, Brittany. So good. Thank you. Thanks again. Yes, thank you. So good. Thank you. Appreciate that. Wait a second. Gotta get our exit music. Get our exit song. I had it perfect. No, that's not it. No, I messed it up. I'm gonna find it. They be waiting for it too. I think I should put this playlist and share this playlist.
I thought you were. I thought you did. No, not yet.
Where can I get that marriage confession or declaration? You can't. You just got to go and watch all of them and listen to them again. When is the parenting session again? You got to get on you got to be a part of our email blast, and then I'll let you know. It's coming up, all right? We got time. Y'all funny about this last song. Y'all don't be playing. Yes, I need the playlist.
I don't know if these unmarried people need this playlist.
No.
I'm joking.
It's so many songs.
We keeping y'all intact, so it's all right.
Thank you for locking in and logging on. This is too much.
These numbers is not. They staying right here
for the song. What do y'all think the last song is gonna be?
They don't know.
I wonder if they guess. I wonder what they guess.
Oh, based upon what we talked about tonight?
I wonder what they guess is gonna be. See if anybody can guess.
Nowhere, sir. That number is not changing.
They is waiting. They is waiting for the last song. It's the last dance song, I guess. No, come on. This is ridiculous.
Do you want me to look?
No, I know what it is.
Okay.
I had it. I just made a mistake. The number's not moving. They like literally waiting for the go home song. All right, here we go.
He gonna find it.
I can't wait no more. All right, here we go. Go home song. Love y'all. Thanks for rocking with us. I love y'all. Y'all super dope. For real. Y'all special. Love y'all. Did anybody guess that though?
I don't even think I would have guessed that.
Did anybody guess it?
I thought it was gonna be like a duet or something.
Hey. Somebody said
Anthony Hamilton.
No. Can I talk to you? Oh, Carrie. There you go. Carrie, you're getting a free prize. You need to email me.
She asking, can she talk to you?
No, she picked the song. Don't even try it. Carrie.
All right, Carrie, girl.
You get a free prize.
All right.
What I want to do.
Send
info at JeromeGlenn.com.
With your mailing information.
Send you a book.
And say, I guessed the correct song.
That's good. They said it's low. Y'all funny.
Kim got it.
We got to keep it low because we'll get flagged if we don't.
Yeah. Come and talk to me. What did you? Can I talk to you? That's one of our songs. Can I talk to you?
Stan and Kim picked it too. So good. They want it louder. I can't do it.
Yeah, y'all, we're going to get flagged.
We get flagged.
I named the artist.
Hey,
what y'all know about that?
Y'all know nothing about that. I'm dancing
2 days in a row, right?
No, yesterday I was clowning.
Single too.
That man said, hey, I'm going to tell you how I really feel. That's for single people. That's how it starts.
Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me, talk. Can I talk to me? That's Heather.
Hey, Heather.
Florida.
We do not own the rights to this music. Right.
Can I talk to you? Parents always be playing these songs and then be surprised when we know it.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah.
man. I really want cheeks. You get ready so fast, girl.
Heather, don't you say nothing.
JP, come sing this to me.
Exactly, girl. Exactly.
She got her own jukebox.
And he can exactly, and he don't have to lip sync.
It's been real, guys. We love y'all so much.
Love
Thank you
y'all
for
so
logging
much.
on with us. Thank you for hanging out with us. Hope you learned something tonight. Use it. Live what you learn.
Yeah.
All right. Live what you learn. Blessings to your house. Peace to your house. Thank you for your seeds. Thank you for your love and support. Hope to see y'all tomorrow. Create everything.
Yeah, you want to be there, create everything. Definitely want to be there.
Peace. Hey. That's the part right there when they come in and be like, I really want you.
Oh my gosh, she's such a boy band.
It's so good. Woo.